In this session, let's understand why we need analytical functions. Can't we live without analytical functions? Yes, we can live without analytical functions. But the only problem is we have to do lot of hard work in order to do that processing. Okay, let's take a look at one of the example. I want to combine my detailed data and aggregate data and show them as one result set. How do I do that? Example, I want to show my detailed sales, and also in one of the column I want to show the average sales amount. Without using the analytical functions, I can do that, right? So how do I do that? I select the data from the sales table and I write one more subquery saying select average of total amount as average total amount from sales. So I'm combining your detailed data and I'm combining the aggregate data. See, we are fetching the data from the sales table twice, here once and here once. Let's take a look at another example. Here I want to get the average of sales amount by sales date. Okay, for a given date I want the average. So for that, first I am calculating those values. You see, select sales date, average of total amount as average total amount from sales group by sales date. This is one subquery, right? And I'm calling it as S average. And here I'm querying the detailed data from the sales table and I'm joining this table and this subquery table using the sales date column. You see here, even here I am fetching the data from the database twice. Here one for the detailed data and here once again for the aggregate data. You see, it involves a lot of work for the database, right? Yes. Let's see how we can do the same with analytical functions. Okay. The first SQL can be written as average of total amount over, that means give me the average of total amount for the entire table. If I don't mention anything in the over, that means give me the average for the entire table data. See, it's only one fetch, right? I'm not querying the sales table twice. I'm querying it only once, and the syntax is pretty standard. The function name, column, over, and if you want the entire table, just bracket start and bracket close. Okay. In the second example, we want the average broken down by sales date. So average of total amount over, you have to say partition by sales date. That means for every given sales date corresponding to this sales date, it will calculate the average and it will display the average total amount. Cool, right? Yes. Now let's go and check the demo. Okay. So now let me select sales date, order ID, product ID, sales amount from sales. Okay, I am fetching the detailed data. Now I want one more row to display the average sales. That how can I do that? Okay, so I need to write one more subquery, right? Select average of sales amount from sales, and let me call this as avg, yes, amount. Okay, and I can use this over here. So let me run this. You see, the average is displayed for all the rows, right? Here you see we are doing two fetches, here one fetch and here one more fetch. It's a lot of burden for the database, right? If you are querying the same information twice. Yes. How can we do this using the analytical function? Okay. So let me take this equal and for this say average of sales amount over bracket start and end. That's it. See, the same thing using an analytical function, I am able to achieve that. Cool, right? Okay, so let me order by sales date. So order by 1, So we ordered. Okay, now let me find out the average of sales amount broken down by sales date. Okay, so over partition by sales date. So the data will be broken down by sales date and the average is calculated. So let me run this. These are the two rows for the first sale date, and you see the sales amount is 40 plus 60. It is 100. 100 divided by 2. So it is 50 is the average. Next, 2nd January has only one row. So obviously 300 will be the average. Next, 12th January has two rows. Sales amount 400 plus 400, 800, and it's divided by 2. So obviously average is 400. You see, like this, you can use the analytical functions to combine the non-aggregate data and aggregate data.